Radio.
Fantasy, sports, and politics. You want to talk back? You in the right place. So take a step back before I get all up in your face. I know you got your little views, know I got mine. But there's like 50 other dudes holding on the phone line. Your voice will be heard, sir.
Next caller, please.
And if I don't concur, we can agree to disagree. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Fantasy Sports and Politics. It's me, it's Mr. FSP, doing what I do because I do it for you all every day. I want to remind everyone that we are live on 3 platforms. Not just one, but 3 platforms. So you can catch us on Facebook, my page on Facebook. You can catch us live on YouTube. And then you can catch us live on the professional LinkedIn profile. So, you know, everything on LinkedIn is professional. Everything else, maybe not. But you're here, and that's all that matters. I'm having a discussion in a chat group with a group of people who like the quick dollar. They like the quick dollar. And when they like the quick dollar, they see $140 million and say, that's a good deal. Instead of thinking, well, maybe if I wait a year or two, I can get $240 million when there's more money to be had. But hey, that's what a punch from Draymond Green does to people, I guess. I don't know. TSA is a different group. However, ladies and gentlemen, we're not here to talk about Draymond Green and Poole and his contract. We're here to talk about 3 subject matters. And I want you to chime in. You can either dial in 647. Hold up. I forgot my dial-in number. I haven't said my
347.
Excuse me.
37.
Yes, 347-637-3220. I haven't said it in such a while, Jerry. I haven't said it in such a while. I know. Or as I said, you can be on one of our 3 platforms that we're using today. LinkedIn, very professional, very network type. YouTube, go in there, say what you want to say. It's on YouTube. Or my Facebook page, Victor Gardner, same deal. With that, and with me today is Jerry Taylor, better known to some as JT. He has his fedora on looking nice, and he actually has glasses on, making him look astute. So the fedora and the glasses make him look like he's a real savant. Is it an idiot savant or a savant? But he looks real good today. What's up, JT?
How you doing, man? How's it going? Let's get it rolling here.
All right. Q's in the building. What's up? What's up, Q? There's a lot of things that we can talk about. We're going to get into because what we're going to do is we're going to save our predictions for week 6 till the end of the discussion. Hopefully the discussion doesn't go past an hour, but I think it might go a little long. I think it will, because somebody has a shirt on. I bet you I know what type of shirt it is that's going to defend probably the defenseless right at this moment.
You know,
but we're going to talk about.
You don't know what you're talking about, but that's okay.
Excuse me. We have a couple questions. Let me put it out there. Carson Wentz situation, Dan Snyder situation, Mr. The Mafia, and Deshaun Watson. We'll talk about that. But off the break, Chris Johnson has a question.
Come on, man. I'm upset.
Hey, excuse me. Hold on.
I'm upset.
Can't be upset, but here we go. With JT out Do I play Matson, Dawson Knox, Adam Thielen, or do I pick someone off the waiver wire, my man? Hey, Chris, of what you have, I'm playing Thielen. Of what you have. If you have the opportunity to pick up Jackson, Indianapolis is.
He's listening to
Excuse
me.
me. I'm about to explain why.
He's listening to me.
He didn't ask you. He asked me. Jackson, who is the backup to the backup, because Nehemiah Hines is not playing either. So now they're down to their third string running back who had a decent game a couple Thursdays ago. And he's going to be the bell cow. What it is? Yeah, Deion Jackson. Exactly. Deion Jackson.
People, I told you about this last week.
JT.
I'm like, Jerry Taylor presents the master plan. I tried to tell you.
Jerry. I appreciate your enthusiasm. Let me finish.
But that's okay. That's all right.
Let me finish because he has a question for JT. He has a question for JT, but let me finish answering the question. And the way you interrupted my answer, I'm interrupt your answer.
No problem. I don't care. Whatever.
But Jonathan Taylor,
I didn't know he was out.
Oh, he was ruled out like an hour ago.
Oh, okay. I've been busy, so I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh, Mr. All-Knowing. But
Deion Jackson.
Deion Jackson is the play. Let me finish explaining. Deion Jackson might be the man for the next 3 or 4 games leading into their bye. I think they have one more game for their bye week. Because Jonathan Taylor has a high ankle sprain. Nehemiah Hines has not completed the concussion protocol. And he had the same type of hit a concussion that Tua had. Oh. And Tua hasn't been cleared to participate in contact drills. So, all right. Here he is. All right, bro. Think he's available. If he's available, now I'm gonna let you talk, Jerry, because I know you got something to say.
If he's available, grab him. Deion Jackson. I've said this in my show on YouTube multiple times. People, if you have a bell cow that is hurt, go on their roster. Go on that roster of that bell cow's roster. Don't look for the scat back. Don't look for what most analysts are going to say, like they did with Nehemiah Hines or Philip Lindsay. Go for the guy that fits the profile of the bell cow. And that profile is Deion Jackson. 6 feet plus, 200 plus. He fits the same profile, maybe not as dynamic, but is very good back at Jonathan Taylor. And he proved it the first time he got the ball. 1 catch, 21 yards to start his day off. Right. Go get Deion Jackson. That's my suggestion to you. Deion Jackson. And you know, I'm not one in favor, people. I'm Chris Jocelyn. I'm not one in favor of picking up a scat back to replace a bell cow back like Jonathan Taylor. That's why if you're in fantasy, yes, Jackson is exactly Deion Jackson is the guy. Yes.
So the new question is, do we drop Hines for Jackson? And the answer, I think Jerry was answering it, is yes.
Yeah.
Nehemiah Hines is a third down back.
Scat back.
Now here's the deal. Nehemiah Hines is roster worthy when they're throwing the ball and stuff like that. But you're looking, I don't know if you're in a PPR or traditional or whatever the case may be. And Tori, they got questions for you. I can't even get the show. Out.
Yes, you can.
I'm about to screw all y'all. This is a professional environment.
This is part of the show. This
wasn't planned for the show.
Wait a minute. You said if you have questions or a comment,
I did.
Okay, you open the floor up. So, hey, what can I tell you?
That's a pie hole. All right, anyway.
I can't shut my pie hole. I got questions coming. I can't do that. I can't do that.
Okay, again, you're welcome, Chris. Yeah. Anyway,
thank you, but that's okay. That's all right.
I gave insight when you were interrupting, but you gave
insight.
Let me put it this way. Let me get to it. So, Yeah, Hines isn't a player that I would keep on my roster. Like Jerry said, a bell cow is a bell cow. Derrick Henry is a bell cow, right? If Tennessee's behind, they're going to go to the other kid. But if Tennessee needs to grind the ball out, what did they do last year? They went to Donta Foreman, who was a grinder.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's kind of helping you out. And it's a PPR. So, yeah, if you're getting touches for every time that dude touches the ball, and I suspect that Indianapolis is going to run the ball a lot more in this game, especially they are 8-0 or 8 for the last 9 games at home versus Jacksonville, and it's been predicated on the run. Offensive line is shaky, but I think Jackson's going to test the ball out. He did well in that spot duty. Now, that being said,
he asked another question. Yes, I would take Jackson over Thielen because the Indianapolis Colts want to run the ball. They want to run the ball and play action with Matt Ryan. They want to run the ball first. That's what
I would definitely play a running back, a featured running back over a wide receiver, unless it's like Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, and Jamar Chase is falling out of that echelon right now. He's not so far not doing that deal.
Well,
and
listen to me early. If you had listened,
I didn't question that, but. You're welcome, Chris. You're welcome, Chris. We appreciate you.
No problem.
Tori, y'all not even gonna let me get into the show. Y'all going straight to questions.
Hey.
It's okay. Tori, what is the question you have for JT? Since JT's gonna run the show like that, I guess I'll go ahead.
I'll tell you, brother.
I'll eat something right now. All right, here's the question. I like your thoughts on then Raiders now. All that preseason hype you were throwing at them. Oh, he's questioning you on how you was so high.
Hey, look, I'm still.
Let me have something to eat while you do that. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, let me put it this way. Him being a Raiders fan, he was high on him. Okay, no problem. I was high on him too. Now, I always say this about the Raiders or any player, barring injury. Waller's not healthy. Waller is not healthy. If he gets healthy, he's going to eat. So that's all I can say. Adams is starting to live up to his hype. He's starting to get the targets from Carr. And I'm not saying Carr is going to be a Mahomes. Carr is going to be a consistent fantasy player because of the weapons he has. He has Hunter Renfrow, who's not really doing that much, but Waller and Adams and Waller's not healthy. That's the bottom line. He's not healthy. He gets healthy, he's going to get meaningful opportunities. That's all I can say. Now, I do like the Raiders threesome. Waller, Adams, and Carr. I'm still holding back from that. So let me put it this way. I don't know if that's a negative or whatever, but there's players that I railed against. Okay, no problem. You want to call me a bum? No problem.
Okay.
I'm not.
I'm be honest.
I'm not perfect.
Well,
not perfect.
First of all, my man Tori is a Chargers fan.
I thought that was okay. I'm sorry.
He was saying during the summer when we were giving our presentations of the different divisions, you were high on the Raiders, so you misunderstood. What he was saying. It's all right. That's why I'm here. I'm the lead. Clear things up.
Whatever.
So my thoughts are this. I, too, was extremely high on the Raiders as well as the Broncos. The Raiders are not that bad.
No.
Not that bad at all. However, they're like 2 or 3 plays from being 4-1 as opposed to 1-4. Okay? I'm going to leave his comment up here for a second. And yeah, I was one of the people that I got it wrong. I got it wrong. Because even though Jerry said they're not healthy, at the beginning of the season, they were healthy. Beginning of the season, they're healthy. Jerry and I sat in the lounge area at the bar in Vegas watching week 1 when they faced the Chargers. That was a game the Raiders should have won, but they didn't run Josh Jacobs the way they're running him now. Carr missed Adams open twice. He also was force-feeding the ball to Adams and not looking at Renfro or Waller.
Right.
So I'm going to say that Carr caused them at least 2 of their first 4 games. And the play calling. When Josh Jacobs started running that rock effectively, you started to see more and more of what the Raiders could do. They were wrong. Now, I do believe the Raiders can make a comeback once they fix their issues after this bye week. That 10-7 is very feasible, in my opinion, because I'm going to tell you something Charlie Weiss said. I was listening to Sirius XM, and we love you too. We love you too, Tori. Love you. But Weiss said, and at first I was like, is he crazy? But then I thought about it. He said when the Raiders played Kansas City and the Raiders were up 20-7 or whatever it was,
right?
He thought that he was looking at the 2 best teams in the AFC outside of Buffalo.
Okay.
That's what he said.
Okay.
And to an extent, I laughed at it, but he was right. The Raiders on defense was flying all over the place. Diablo was all over the place.
All over the place.
You know, Chandler Jones might not be attacking the quarterback, but he's stopping the run, something that he's not known for. But the first 5 games of the season, he's been a part of more run stops than pass defenses or sacks. Crosby's been getting the sacks. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that? And I know he's known for a pass rush, but do you think the Raiders are asking him to do that versus being a very good pass rusher?
I don't know.
Better against the run versus the pass?
I can't. I mean, I get what you're saying. I don't know if that's the scheme or is it that he's lost a step and can't beat the left tackle? Because typically the left tackle on any team is supposed to be the best offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Supposed to be.
Yep.
And for years, Chandler has been beating these left tackles when he's with the Patriots, when he's with Arizona. I think he had a brief stint in Cleveland. No, it wasn't Cleveland. It was somewhere else.
No.
But now with the Raiders, you know, it's tough because looking at the game, I see him playing the run versus the pass more effectively and more so than attacking. I don't know if they wanted to spy Mahomes with him or not, but he wasn't jetting in at Mahomes like he normally goes at a quarterback. But Tori says Carr is not the answer. They would do better off without him. I disagree with that.
I disagree with that, and I also want to get a question, response back from who would be better, who available, what team would give up a quarterback that would be better than Carr to take his place?
Well, I'll tell you right now because that leads into the topics. I didn't say he's better than Carr, but Washington probably give up Carson Wentz after he has this thumb surgery. But the topics today are, as I said, it's going to be Wentz, it's going to be Watson, and Snyder, along with the week's schedule. But we'll keep the Q&A going. If we don't get to those other subject matters, that's fine, as long as the Q&A comes from you guys and it's something we can help you out with, because that's what we're here for. Fantasy Sports and Politics. We go on all sorts of tangents that are related to political, because we're going to the political side today. Dan Snyder made sure of that. We're going to get into
talking about burning bridges, man.
He ain't burning bridges. He's going to burn the whole damn NFL.
Yeah, he's burning the Golden Gate Bridge. He's burning bridges, man. What's the biggest bridge in DC? He burning that down.
Well, it's a couple of them. So my boy Chris Etter, he's like you, but what I mean by that, he follows Tom Brady wherever Tom Brady goes, but he
Okay.
still has love for the Patriots.
I don't think.
But you're just a Watson fan.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am, and I freely admit it. Okay, I'll take the hit. And when we talk about this,
he's got you too.
When you talk about, let me put it this way, before we get into it, when you talk about number 4.
Wait a minute. Let's focus in on.
I'm just going to say. Well, I'm just going to put this out there. When you talk about number 4, I got nothing to say.
Okay, Tui, I bet you don't. Your mouth is full.
I have nothing to say.
The question is, do the Patriots have a pathway to the playoffs?
I don't think so.
And I agree with Jerry. However, I'm going to preface my answer with this. With Bailey Zappi at quarterback, there's a chance of beating out and getting the 7th seed. With Mac Jones as quarterback, because I'm going to tell you what I saw, what I've seen over the past couple of weeks. There's no chance. And Tori has an answer for you. I'll put it up in a second. I didn't mean to put it up right away. Bailey Zappi gives the play caller, Matt Patricia, more freedom to do things. Because if you notice how Matt Patricia called the last 2 games versus the way he called the preseason and the first couple games with Mac Jones, night and day.
Explain.
Night and day.
Explain.
There's more passing with Bailey Zappi under the hood than it was with Mac Jones. The receivers in New England are valuable now. Myers, Jacoby Myers. He was a PPR guy. Pick up a couple. I know what you're laughing at. Whatever. I can't help it. I can't. That's him. Jacoby Myers is a guy that was a PPR guy in fantasy, but now he's getting in the end zone. He's a little nicked up, but he's getting in the end zone under Bailey Zappi. Under Mac Jones, he's probably get 6 or 7 targets, catching 5 of them, maybe 40, 50 yards. Not much. The difference there. I don't see that as just a one-off. And they're still using the power run game. But for whatever reason, the power run game is working now, whereas it wasn't working in the beginning of the season. So I think it's a trick question, like Tori says. Wait a minute, my bad. Tori says that's a tricky question. Actually, he's the best available, but I'd start looking to move past him through draft or free agency, etc. And then Chris retorts, I think Mac was injured. Mac is injured. He is injured, and he's not playing this week. He had a great year last year. BZ is great and younger, and no one has a playbook on him. That is true. Bailey Zappi doesn't have a playbook on him. However, this week, you got a whole game, 2 games to study him. But can New Orleans go in there with nothing to offer?
And I got a question for you. I'm taken back. You actually think Zappi is better than Mac Jones?
Yes. For the system that they're trying to run and to get the energy up. Mac is a pocket quarterback. Zappi is a mobile move around type quarterback.
Okay.
Zappi will stay in the pocket, but if you look at the games, Mac looks like he's running in pond water.
Yeah, he's not that
exactly. But Zappi, he's moving that pocket. He's getting away from people and causing plays down the field. That when they're not working from the pocket, they're working from outside of the pocket.
Okay.
So, if you're looking for the Tom Terrific, be quiet. The Tom Terrific replacement in Mac, you might get that. But with what the weapons they have now and the way the NFL is now, Zappi right now is the better quarterback. Stop it. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. There's nothing I can do about it. English Bulldogs, okay? English Bulldogs. Because the other dog is asleep. He don't make half the noise. But anyway, thanks for the questions. Let's move on.
Really appreciate it, yeah.
Y'all keep them coming.
Hey,
Do not trade Mac for Jimmy G.
Tune in tomorrow. I have a sleeper. And it's, let me put it this way. I think it's a deep sleeper. I think people aren't.
No, Chris, don't do it.
Yep, do it. Because the fact is, I told you about Deion Jackson, and this is one of on a Deion Jackson type platform. I'm telling you.
So you're telling Chris to trade Mac for Jimmy G?
No.
Well, that was the question. And you just said, yeah, do it. And I said, no. You got to pay attention to the show, guys.
That. No, I said, don't do that.
No, you need to watch. You said, yeah, do it. That's what you said. Because you were too busy ready to promo the show. Yeah. You didn't even listen.
Yeah, on the master plan, Jerry Taylor presents a master plan. I got a deep sleeper. It's on YouTube. I got a deep sleeper that has to do with the New England Patriots. That's what I'm talking about. And it's on the same platform. I'm not saying that it's going to be viable, but it's on the same level, just about, as Deion Jackson of the Indianapolis Colts. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, well, that wasn't the question. I know, because you just ignored the question for your own purposes. But let's get into the other stuff. You can't hold on to your earphones, your earbuds. You need to get the ear ones, the ones that insert. That way you ain't got to worry about, your head moving and the stuff falling off because, you're a bobblehead. Anyway, the pressing thing. We'll get to Carson Wentz later. We'll get to Watson later. Dan Snyder. Oh, yeah, JT getting fired up today. He getting fired up. Daniel Snyder has said, and these are quotes. I read the ESPN story, not just the 2-minute piece they did. I read it. Let's go back. A couple owners said when he first came into the league, they didn't like him because he was brash, he was arrogant, he was this, that, and the third. And then they said in the story, when he made the first pitch to have the Super Bowl in DC over Arizona, he defamed the Arizona ownership and the stadium. And when the vote came out, he told everybody else they would be sorry and this, that, and the third. And he was just very arrogant. Fast forward, he has been a problem and a thorn in other sides in the NFL for some time. He has four federal cases. We're not talking about being led by the NFL. 4 federal cases. Politics, folks. And it is said or rumored and alleged that he's trying to wait out until Congress changes to a more Republican Congress to have all of these investigations lifted or ignored. Here's the thing. Sexual assault, sexual harassment, racist behavior, all that stuff that has been reported and substantiated in documents on his organization. If, let's say, Republicans take over the House, take over the Senate, and get the White House. Let's say they got it all. Let's just say that. Knowing that this stuff is out there, knowing that it's out there, and the NFL is in the crosshairs, and I know these owners are influential, but this man said he had, it is rumored, he said it, he had private investigators investigate the commissioner of the NFL, owners of the NFL, people in DC. And if he goes down, he has more than enough information to take down Goodell, several owners in the NFL. I tell you this, there's a lot of truth to what he said because if it wasn't, he would have been voted out already. He would have been. And coming up Tuesday, I believe it is.
Owners meeting.
Owners meeting, and he's not even on the docket officially. But the pressure, and we talk about this, JT, the pressure of outside influence, and in this new era of whatever, they're going to have to discuss this with him. Maybe not officially, but is he on his way out? What I read, and I'm not going to go all into it, nothing like that, but it's like if you weren't his buddy and you showed any type of authority in the league over him, Mr. Allen, who's learning also a jerk, he didn't want you on part of the team. Vinny Serrato, remember my cousin Vinny from like early on years? It is said that he was around and was the general manager or the person that was making football decisions because he was a good golfer and a good guy to joke around with and his weightlifting buddy. But when it came to football operations, he would constantly deface him in front of other people. But this is the guy that's going on TV talking about the moves that your team is making. That ain't a friend. Got the team at 38. Just wow. Your thoughts, JT?
Hey man, he's a dirtbag. I can't say any. I can't say any. He's a dirtbag. You know, let me put it this way. I have my opinion because who he is, and I'm not going to express it on here because it's extremely inflammatory. But
thank you. We're on LinkedIn. I appreciate it.
It's extremely inflammatory, but he fits the mold. He fits the mold of a person with money. That's a person with new money. Let me put it that way. He fits the mold of a person with new money. That's if anybody who knows what I'm talking about understands what I'm talking about, he fits the mold of a person with new money.
Chris, it is tough for me. Very tough. Even though he has new money, it's old now. For 20 years, he's run this organization like it was a toy. If you ever seen the show Silver Spoons back in the day, Eddie, who was the father, Ricky Schroeder, who played, I forgot his character's name, was a son, but he inherited a lot of money from his dad. And he had video games, trains, stuff all over the place. I mean, a virtual kid's paradise, but he was a really grown-ass man. And when his father died and Ricky started getting older, he had to somewhat change his behavior and be more responsible because the money wasn't coming in. He had to find ways to make money. Alfonso Ribeiro was on the show. That's where you got him from, other than the Michael Jackson Pepsi commercial. But I equate Daniel Snyder to Eddie, Ricky Schroeder's dad in the show. He would typically, and in the story it says, he would typically purchase players or pay outrageous amounts of money to players thinking that one player would cover up the stink of the team. And it wouldn't. And it didn't for years, decades now. One player I can talk about right now is Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson is a high-priced, highly paid cornerback that we got from Cincinnati a couple years back. Well, last week, I think mid-game, he got benched. And the team started to play better at the cornerback position. Well, this week, amongst other things that came out in the news about Washington, Jackson has said he doesn't like the scheme and he wants to be traded. Now, Washington looked pretty decent versus Chicago's offense, secondarily wise, but there was a lot of missed opportunities by Justin Fields. Washington plays a better quarterback. You're gonna see exactly how missing Jackson is. But Jackson's a zone player. You put Jackson in a cover 3, he's fine. But you put him in a man, or if you put him in some type of hybrid version of a cover 3, cover 2, he is lost. He is lost. But that's the type of player Daniel Snyder would often seek. Josh Norman didn't really want him. Rumors, and people confirmed these rumors, against the football people's wishes, Haskins was drafted. I wanted Haskins, so I wasn't mad at that. I was wrong. RG3. I wanted either Luck or RG3. I wasn't wrong, but RG3 just didn't have it up here at the time. I mean, it goes all the way back. All the way signing Deion Sanders at the end of his career, after Deion was like, hey, I'm here for the money. He literally said that in an interview. Literally said that.
Must be the money.
But Bruce Smith in his career. So Bruce Smith can make the sack record in at the time, Redskin uniform. So a Redskin uniform goes to the Hall of Fame, not a Bills uniform. But Bruce Smith is forever going to be a Buffalo Bill. You did. These are the things that Daniel Snyder did to the organization that was not conducive to it being successful. Running people in and out because you didn't like them, you felt threatened. There was a quote in that story that said the current team president, Jason, oh my God, what is Jason's last name? I want to say Smith, but I don't think it's Smith. But Jason, who's the team president, says it's to the point where he doesn't need Daniel Snyder's input to run the organization from the business side. And he's done a great job from people outside the organization and people inside the organization. So is Jason a threat to Daniel Snyder? Will he be moved? As well as another report that came out is Daniel Snyder blatantly did not follow the instructions of the NFL during his suspension.
That didn't surprise me.
Doesn't surprise me. But the fact that it's out there and they know about it, but guess what? He's still there. He's still there. I was surprised to learn that the NFL gave Daniel Snyder a waiver to get more debt so that he could pay off the minority owners who wanted him to sell. And typically, the NFL does not give out more than one waiver. What's hurting him right now, according to the reports, is he can't get a stadium built. And if he can't get a stadium built, they're like, you're not getting us any revenue. You're not getting us nothing because your stadium's halfway filled and it's always filled with other teams' fans, not your own. The product on the field is garbage. I can't tell you how, and Chris says it. I'm going to put it back up here. My boy, Chris Etter, he says it. This must be tough for me. He says you, because this is your team, Victor. Yeah. I grew up watching this team under Joe Gibbs. And I know Cook was doing coke. I know Cook had hookers. I know Cook did all these things you were not supposed to do, especially as an owner, especially as a 70, 80-year-old owner. But he gave Bobby Beathard the checkbook and Charlie Casserly the checkbook and said, make us winners. And he said, Joe Gibbs is the man to run this organization. I can talk about what Ron Rivera did after the Chicago football game. How he stated and almost stated that he was on the verge of getting fired because people was calling for him to get fired, but he stopped himself. He started saying, he stopped himself. Because people are calling for him to be fired. They're like, you're not firing Jack Del Rio because the defense sucks. Turner is calling some of the stupidest plays in goal line situations, but that boy Brian Robinson, he's the truth. It made Antonio Gibson step his game up. Antonio Gibson did not touch the ball or the field until the second half. Understand that, people. Your starting running back for the first 5 games didn't touch the field until after halftime in the 6th game of the season with Robinson, a monster playing. And then they found out they could run on the left side. But that game was still awful. So the owners are still like, Snyder, you can't even get put on primetime TV. A standalone game. So, you know, the politics of this is the man says he's going to bring down the NFL owners and the commissioner. He has 4 federal cases, investigations, I should say, going into him. 2 ongoing investigations by the NFL that have not been concluded yet. Plus the John Gruden case that is supposed to expose more information. Daniel Snyder, you don't want to sell. You didn't want to change the name. But I tell you what, you might not have a choice to sell. They might kick you out and you get not as much money as you could for that franchise. Believe it or not, it's still one of the top priced franchises. It used to be like top 3 or top 2 NFL franchises for merchandise and all that. They dropped down a few pegs. I don't know, JT. Anything else you want to say about this before we talk about Carson?
No, man. It's a messy situation, and the fact is that Daniel Snyder is a piece of garbage, man.
Azure.
He's a piece of garbage.
Yeah. Hey, that you say something. Yeah, I know you ain't gonna say nothing.
What do you mean? I'm damn right I'm gonna say something. Come on, man.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Because
Come
every
on.
time you always go against me.
I got snoring and I got music playing. Come on, man.
Hey, the snoring I can't control. I really can't control my wife either.
Oh, you can control. He just eliminate that dog. He's out of the room.
Hey, leave my dog alone.
He's out of the room.
Oh Lord. Chris says, out of the box though, combine the Commanders and the Jets and form a new team.
I agree, Chris.
No,
I agree.
No. The Jets are better than us. The Jets are better than us.
Well, the reason I'm saying is he takes Zach Wilson to make those 2 teams. He'd be the starting quarterback.
Well, we're gonna find out if Taylor Heineke or Sam Howell can lead us to victory. Here's what I say. I say Taylor Heineke will probably play up until our bye week. And if we're like dismal, then Howell comes in after the bye week, and we're going to see if he's worth not drafting a quarterback next year, because there's going to be a lot of good quarterbacks coming out next year. So that's what I see. And the fact Washington doesn't have to give up so many picks now that Carson's not going to play 70% of the snaps, because that was part of the trade. If he played 70% of the snaps, Washington had to give up X amount of trades. But it is what it is. So, what is Chris saying now? I'm just trying to get the Jets, Jets, out of the AFC East. My stomach can't handle them having a better. Hey, truth hurts, buddy. Truth hurts.
Yeah, it does. It does.
That leads me to the quarterback situation with Carson Wentz. Oh. Carson Wentz has he played what it appears to be a broken thumb, and in that wasn't even that bad. Well, I can't say it wasn't that bad because it wasn't there. But in that Chicago weather, which can get much worse, didn't do too bad, but he didn't get over 200 yards passing.
Yes, and the fact is with a night game, so it's even cooler.
Yeah, colder.
Yeah, and in Chicago, so it's even colder.
Off of that lake, off of that lake.
Yeah.
It's not
So
good.
I mean, I'm not making excuses for him because he's still trash. But I'm just saying that didn't help. That even made it even worse.
It did. But I'll say that I look at what Carson Wentz is now. His career is over as a starter. Because when he comes back, let's say he's not out for the season. I don't think he gets the job back. I don't. As I said, Ron Rivera gets upset by the question asked of him after a win.
Keeping it real, man.
Well, the thing is this. I understand his frustration. I understand his anger. And I even side with him in the outburst. But he's part of the reason why they asked the question. Because of what he mentioned earlier in the week about the quarterback being, the difference maker in the NFC East. I understand what he meant by it. But then when you get asked the question, reports, because it came from a report that got released on Wednesday, the day before, that Dan Snyder pressured him into getting Carson Wentz.
Yeah, and he took exceptions to that too.
He did. And then he said, no, he didn't, because I looked at all the analytics. Listen, Ron might have had some say in it, but Martin Mayhew's the one that pulled the trigger. Martin Mayhew is the general manager. Jason, I forgot his damn name again, the president of football operations or business side of Washington, had something to say with it. What they didn't say is you try to get Russell Wilson at first. Not saying it would have been better because Russell's going through his stuff right now. But if you would have said, okay, well, you try to get Russell Wilson, but you ended up getting Carson Wentz, was that something that Daniel Snyder pressured you into because of that? Because you couldn't get him? But no, they just said, Daniel Snyder pressured you into getting him. Listen, Carson Wentz is a upbeat guy. Very positive. I don't think he has a nasty, mean streak. No one on that offensive side of the ball has a nasty, mean streak. And that's part of the reason why you see a C on his chest. Cool. Put a C on his chest. But Washington needs some fire right now. They need somebody to fire them up and give them a reason to go out there and bang harder than what they have been banging. Brian Robinson is a rookie. I saw some plays where if he just kept moving his feet, he probably would have got a couple more yards, because the collision between him and Roquan Smith, pow, that was some good stuff.
You see what Chris just put out there. You know what?
No.
Nobody's going to do that. And it's a damn shame, because he's a mobile quarterback, and I still think he has got something left. And I still think he's better than some of these quarterbacks that are starters right now. And let me put it this way. Why not give it a try? I mean, what do you got to lose? You can always release him, just like you sign him, and if he doesn't work out, you can always release him. But you want some fire? You want some fire in DC? You want some fire? You put Cap in the lineup. You'll get. Here's
the thing.
And wait a minute, let me put it this way. And like I've said before, players, if they think their quarterback is a dog, will play harder. If players will play harder if they think their quarterback is a dog, and is the man.
Well, hold on.
That's a fact. You can see that.
Listen. I agree with that. There's two reasons why I wouldn't do it, though. And the first reason is more logical than the second. First reason is this. You drafted a guy late that has big arm talent, is mobile, and has more on the front side than the back side. So you got to give him a shot before you bring in a hired gun. Taylor Heineke proved he could win, but he also proved he can't win on a consistent basis. But he knows the system, and he can do decent. Now, on the back end, well, the second reason, Jack Del Rio and Cap in the same locker room, no, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Two diametrically opposed personalities. One don't give a damn and says his views all the time on Twitter. I'm not talking about Cap. I'm talking about Del Rio.
Yeah, okay.
Now, it's rumored that the defense has like said, we don't care about you, Jack. We just here. We're going to play. Hoping you're not here. On the offensive side of the ball, could Cap be that dude? Hell yeah, he could be. However, I'm not bringing more drama to the. If Daniel Snyder really wanted to cause some problems for the NFL, listen. If Daniel Snyder, and I hope you're listening, Dan, or somebody watches this on my LinkedIn professional page, Dan, I changed my mind. Dan, go sign, Kaepernick. Go sign him. And make him we call it the practice team player until either Heineke gets hurt or proves he can't do it, or Howell gets hurt or proves he can't do it. That would really show the NFL. That right there, that move would say, I don't give a damn about none of y'all owners. I don't give a damn about you, Roger Goodell. I'm bringing in the guy y'all blackballed. And just think about it. Think about this. Gruden says, and there's some information in those emails referring to Kaepernick. And Bruce Allen was the one that was going back and forth with him on those emails. And who did Bruce Allen work for? Washington. Who owns Washington? Daniel Snyder. All right, look, we got about 8 minutes left before we got to get into stuff. So I'm going to jump off of it. Let's get into this Watson situation. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you, man. The latest allegation is that a young lady claims that while Watson was with Houston, he coerced her into providing him oral sex during the massage session. Listen, they're going to come out of the woodwork left and right. Here's the thing, though. What did she? Well, I guess what did she gain from this, other than, a possible payoff? Because the NFL has concluded its investigation on Deshaun Watson and has suspended him for 11 games. So the NFL can do one of two things: not pay attention to this allegation and let it go, or open up another investigation into the latest allegation. So, does Deshaun Watson then have a leg to say that, okay, y'all going to get me on double jeopardy? You already got me on this. Now you're going to say because this woman comes out during the same time, says that I coerced her to provide oral sex, that I'm a bad guy and I need to be suspended some more.
2 years later.
2 years, 3 years, don't matter. The point is that I've already been adjudicated for those issues, because I can't call them crimes, for those issues within the eyes of the NFL. This does not hurt me other than my reputation. I've got $230 million guaranteed, but what does this situation gain the NFL, Watson, if anything, and of course the young lady? She wants her story told. What you raise your hands for? What, the dog? Or my wife? Listen, my English bulldog. If you guys want a loyal dog, and I mean loyal dog, the gas is terrible. Terrible. Get yourself an English bulldog or a French bulldog. They're loyal to the end. They will follow you and do whatever it is. Everything. This dude, whew, I love him. But when he sleeps, he's like this. And when he poops, it's like all I gotta do is bottle that up. And if you make me mad, you out. Anyway, Deshaun Watson is not a player. Deshaun Watson is not a person that I think is going to be worth much in the long run. He's right here beside me, Tori. He's right here beside me. He's like 2 feet away from me. No matter where I go, this dog goes. Seriously. But Deshaun Watson and this situation, briefly comment on it since I know you don't have much to say. But
I don't have anything to say. I'm done. I'm done.
You're done with him, or you done with?
I'm done with commenting on it. I'm done. Why are you eating, man? Come on. We're doing a show here. We're doing a show here.
I know. But I really want to know why you don't want to comment on the situation.
I'm done. I'm done with it.
And I'm asking why. It's
the same old story. I'm not going back. That's revisionist history. I'm not going back. I'm done.
So even though
done.
Listen.
Done.
Guy, will you listen?
No. Done.
Even though the case is brand new, anything that comes up on Deshaun Watson, you're not going to discuss.
No, I'm done. Unless he commits a crime that he's going to be convicted of, I'm done. Any of this civil stuff, now it's 2 years later. Come on, man. This is revisionist history. I'm not going through that again. Plain and simple. I'm just done.
Okay. I mean, listen. All I can say is there's a reason why these cases keep coming up. One, he was a part of them. Two, his reputation will never be the same. Ever. I don't care if this dude takes Cleveland to the Super Bowl.
We said that before. This is not anything new. You've said that before. I've said that before. This is not anything new. His reputation will never ever be the same.
What I'm adding to that.
What I'm regurgitating what was said a long time ago.
Hey, let me finish what I'm saying. Let me just finish what I'm saying.
You just want to lay on it.
The reputation is not going to be repaired. And with that, I look at his possible Hall of Fame opportunity. This is where I'm going with it.
Yeah, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. So it's no need to talk about it. No need to talk about it.
Let me finish. Don't tell me what to talk about.
There's really no need to talk about because we're not there yet.
I'm talking about it because I'm thinking down the road. I'm saying he can take Cleveland to the Super Bowl, even win the Super Bowl.
See, this is the problem.
And it will not go away. Because when I use the issue of what Ray Lewis did, all was forgiven. Ray became the second son of Baltimore. There's a small pocket of people, very small pocket of people, that still look at him as somebody that had a part in a murder. Ben Roethlisberger. And here's the case study. Ben Roethlisberger had 128, but he had 2 incidences of the same sort, but a little worse, in my opinion, because apparently, allegedly, those were not consensual. So he's also looked at as a Hall of Famer. Won a Super Bowl. Got on the straight and narrow. That's why I'm saying I don't think with this situation, if Deshaun Watson gets himself together and even takes him to a Super Bowl, wins a Super Bowl, that it's going to be looked at the same way when it's time for that Hall of Fame ceremony. Too many allegations, too many things. Sexual predator is what they'll call him. So Chris says Ray Lewis only became the second son of B-More because he threatened. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, why do you put that up? Come on, man.
I didn't read it. I didn't read it.
Come on.
I didn't read it. I didn't read it.
Oh,
Chris,
God.
Chris, you cannot do that. My life of, matter of fact, Chris is my buddy, former Air Force Master Sergeant, who
Air Force. Oh.
Now Chris is a good dude. He does yoga for vets. He's been featured on ABC, Good Morning America, and a few other outlets that shows that meditation, yoga, things of that nature are good for PTSD. So I'm gonna give him a quick shout out. My Life of Vets is his thing, but that was an Buddhist or Mala type of comment, Chris. All right, with that being said, let's move on because it's time to give you our predictions. Here we go.
Carrying the ball 20 times a game requires power and valor, not niftiness. The water bug and whippet-backs rarely survive the wail and howl of the banshee. Stacked defenses in the pros. They must meld the butt of a billy goat with the sudden surge of a sprint. He does not move with polish or slickness. His method is not Grand Prix, but demolition derby.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time because it's about the flow. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but I can hear it. Can you hear that, JT?
Yes, I can.
All right.
It's low though, but I can hear it.
Okay.
That's fine. I mean, just keep it the way it is. It's fine.
Okay, I don't want to hurt your hearing aids. All right, here we go.
Let me put it this way. People, if you listen to this program, you haven't heard one peep of me disparaging Mr. FSP.
You have not. I've been trying.
But you've been listening to Mr. FSP disparage me over and over again.
I've been trying.
That's a person who, this is a comparison of a person who has some type of class and some that don't. I'm just saying.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll put it this way. I've been trying to get his goat because I need him to comment in one of our leads. And this is the only way I get him to comment on this show.
I'm not commenting.
If you want to see somebody without class and without couth, watch tomorrow's show when I try to say anything. I'll try to say anything. He's quick with that mute button. But let's move on. Let's get these spreads for our bettors out there. Listen, I got like 4 locks. And I apologize for those that had the Green Bay Giant lock. I apologize. I was wrong. But I hit everything else. Here we go. Week 6. Coming your way. one of my teams that I follow and I like, and I think they're going to get their fortunes turned around come week 7. That's Arizona. Arizona travels to Seattle. And the surprising Jerry Levin, Geno Smith. JT.
Yeah.
Oh, see, look. Chris said, shout out to all of us who wear hearing aids. Yeah, I got a shout out to all y'all because y'all can't hear.
Sometimes we don't want to. Sometimes we don't want to.
That is true. That is true. That is true. Because you're stubborn. But let's talk about this game. Here's Eno Benjamin looks like he's going to be the starting running back. I don't care what you tell me about Connor being questionable. They brought in running backs this week to see if they can play. That tells me Connor has a serious rib injury. And Darrell Williams, he couldn't even play last week. Eno Benjamin looks like he's going to start. Hollywood Brown is still doing well, but the big ticket boom that isn't there, Hopkins, has somebody waiting and doing a good job so far. Mr. Moore has stepped up. He came back. I think he had like 73 yards receiving and like maybe 10, 15 yards rushing from the receiver standpoint. But then we got Seattle. They lose Rashad Penny for the year to a broken leg. That guy, his career, I don't know how many injuries one back can take, especially to the lower extremities, and keep coming back. But this gives Mr. Walker, the rookie, fresh legs, a chance to do his thing. I still don't believe in Geno. I don't care what the numbers say. He's a system quarterback, and he found the perfect system. But with that being the case, JT,
well, let me put it this way.
Spread going.
Let me put it this way. Okay. Tom Brady is a system quarterback. He brought. Wait a minute. I didn't interrupt you. I didn't.
Did I say anything? You anticipate.
Tom Brady is a system quarterback. He brought his system to Tampa Bay, so they're running Tom Brady's system. So most quarterbacks who are successful are running a certain system. So you say he's a system quarterback? No problem. That system is working and working very well. Okay, regardless, if I know you said it as a negative thing, but it's a positive thing for Geno, and
it's a positive thing for Geno.
It's a positive thing for Geno, and I expect him to go out and to perform in this game. Now, their defense, Seattle defense, is hot garbage. Cardinals defense ain't all that either.
No, but it's better than Seattle's.
Like I said. Geno did his thing against a better defense, which was the New Orleans Saints. Okay. And now he's going up against the Arizona Cardinals. I like the Seattle Seahawks to beat the Arizona Cardinals. Yes. In Seattle. Absolutely.
Arizona's going to win again. What's the point spread?
The point spread is plus minus 2.5 Arizona. That means it's going to be a close game. And if it was up to me, playing the way they're playing her now, Kyle Murray, Geno Smith, I'm going with Geno all the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would never go with Geno Smith over Kyler Murray.
That's why you don't have him. That's why you don't use him. That's why your record is what it is.
Dude, you got one win more than me.
One more than you. I'm 1 win closer. One more than you.
You know what? I'll eat that.
Yes.
But you ain't much better. You ain't much better at all.
Oh yeah, you'll see. You will see. I have two
moving on.
Very good quarterbacks.
Let's go to
and one of them
Tennessee.
One of them for sale.
Now see Tennessee.
At least I don't have Russ. Who the heck wants Russ? You can get him at a good price. Yeah.
You want to talk about Russ?
Stop.
You want to talk about Russ? Hey, stop. Denver goes to the Chargers. Now look, Austin Eckler finding that groove, right? Justin Herbert, his rib issue, cartilage issue, not so much so. But that daggone Keenan Allen ain't nowhere to be found. Nowhere. So Joshua or Joseph Kelly is the backup to Austin Eckler, and he's vulturing some touches. I get it, vulturing some touchdowns. Mike Williams, he's all right. He's all right. He ain't no number one, and it's showing. But I don't know. They might have enough to beat Denver because Russ is not doing his thing. I agree that he needs a strong run game with Gordon being the lead dog, but Mike Boone performing better with less touches might have a dynamic shift. And don't forget they signed Latavius Murray. Latavius Murray's on their practice squad. I don't think he got pulled up to the regular squad yet, but keep an eye out for that. That might happen this Sunday. Jerry Jeudy, freaking Cortland Sutton, Russ the Bust. Oh man.
Yes.
Q. Come on, Q. But the thing about it is, how do we judge this game? Nathaniel Hackett needs to be just the head coach. It's my opinion. First year in the system, Aaron Rodgers didn't do too hot, but he wasn't this bad. He wasn't this bad the first year in the system. Russ is dealing with that lat tear. He had the surgery, and he's still playing. I don't think that's a smart move. I have benched Russell Wilson in all of the leagues I have him in favor of whoever I had as my backup, because knowing that on your throwing side and you're not performing well, there is definitely cause for concern with any pass receiver in Denver. To me, it is. Last time we saw Denver on the field, Hamilton was banging his helmet on the ground because Russ didn't see him coming on that right side wide open. Now, mind you, he had tunnel vision on Sutton, but I don't think he could have made that pass anyway. Because looking at the game footage, he didn't throw to his right a lot unless he had his body squared already there. Because Russ normally can sit in the pocket, put his foot back, and throw left, medium, right. But if you notice, he had to move his entire body to throw right, middle, left. I'm going to pick, and it goes against my better judgment, but I'm going to go ahead and pick the Los Angeles Chargers. JT, you on the clock. And what is the spread?
The spread is minus 4.5 favoring the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers.
You got nothing to say?
I'm taking the Chargers and the points. I mean, there's really nothing else to say.
Right.
I don't like they're playing in LA. They're playing on the road, division rival, but their quarterback is banged up, meaning Denver. I think Justin Herbert is getting a lot healthier, and if he gets a lot healthier, he's got people to throw to. Minus Keenan Allen, but he still has people to throw to that he can run a
strong run game.
Can I finish?
I mean, I just added that in. Go ahead.
Can I finish? Thank you.
Not really, but
I'm done.
Go ahead. All right. So here's my first lock of the week. My first doom lock of the week. Atlanta hosts San Francisco. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. Chris asked early, should he trade Mac for Jimmy G? I say no. But I will tell you this. Neither one of those guys should be your starting quarterback on your fantasy team. Now, if you're going to trade him and he's going to be your backup, I'd get Jimmy G after the bye week, which is week 7, I think, for them. But this game, George Kittle is going to feast. If they throw the ball to George Kittle, he will feast. Debo, will feast. All I can tell you is you got a Atlanta team that's banged up. Still don't know if Pitts is going to play. He's questionable. Even if he does play, is he getting the ball? One stat report said that Mike Smith doesn't care if Pitts is a receiving threat. Excuse me, because he's getting used as a decoy as well as a run blocker. That's not good for your number 5 overall pick from 2 years ago, who has the ability to catch the ball from anywhere on the field. Right now, a lot of people, I've noticed it, have dropped him in fantasy. I don't say drop him just yet. But then again, I'm an optimist. We'll see. JT, point spread and your thoughts, because I'm taking San Francisco.
San Francisco minus 4.5. I like San Francisco.
Okay. Oh, he means, okay. Hold on. This is what he's saying about Jimmy G. Have Jimmy G groom Zappy. So in other words, trade Mac to San Fran and bring Jimmy G back. I thought he meant for fantasy. He meant in real life. That would be counterproductive, but I don't see why that couldn't happen, especially if you don't think Trey Lance is the answer. But they believe Trey Lance is the answer. So I don't think that's going to happen. Moving on. Baltimore takes on Jerry's New York Football Giants. Giants are on a tear, man. They're on a tear, 4-1. Baltimore, do we have a problem? You have no healthy receivers outside of Devin Duvernay. Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews and them, cool. J.K. Dobbins is getting back in the groove, cool. But then on the other side, I got to say, hold up, Vic. New York is decimated. And I mean decimated on that side of the ball. Outside of Saquon Barkley, you got Darius Slayton, you got Robinson, and who else? Who else is on that New York Giants team that can put up points? They did the impossible in my book and came back to beat Green Bay. That was the thing. Not just beat Green Bay, but come back to beat Green Bay. And Jerry, I think we were a little off about Thibodeau. He might not be getting the sacks, but he's getting pressures and he's getting knockdowns, and that defense is playing a whole hell of a lot better than anticipated. I got to, however, go with Baltimore. I think they're going to just pound the rock and get in the end zone, and I don't see how the Giants get in the end zone in this game. Chris also takes Baltimore. What you got?
Baltimore is favored by 5.5 points. What you see in front of you is JT at the Magic Man, 1954. I'll shorten that for Brian Dable. He's the Magic Man. He's doing it with smoke and mirrors. He's doing with smoke and mirrors. Well, Baltimore comes to town and breaks those mirrors and wins the game. I like Baltimore.
I like how you said you're going to shorten Magic Man 1954 to Brian Daboll. I think it's about the same amount of characters. But anyway. Next game. My next lock. Doom. Listen to me. Chris? What's up, Stu? Chris? You're going to be happy because you're about to fanboy right now. Tampa Bay, not Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay goes to Pittsburgh. Tampa Bay is going to cover the point spread. I don't care what the point spread is. I like Pickett. I really do. You got Chris Godwin coming back at better percentage than he was the past couple games. Mike Evans, Tom Brady, Leonard Fournette, and I told you guys, Cade Otton. I know that Cameron Brate may be playing it out, but Cade Otton is the future of that tight end position. He did pretty well last week for a rookie. My son, my youngest son, knows the family. The Ottons are a family prodigy of football here in the Great Northwest. Cade is just the latest in that lineage. He's a guy I'd stash if I were you. I'd stash him. But I ain't got nothing good to say about Pittsburgh. This is going to be their first losing season. First losing season under my dude, Mike Tomlin. Can't say it's going to be anything else. Tampa Bay. Chris says by 37. I ain't going to say by 37. But I say Tampa Bay. Go ahead, JT.
Rebuild. Pittsburgh. Same name. Tampa wins.
Okay. With Chris, Gronk ain't coming back. Forget that. I can guarantee the Raiders ain't going to lose this week either. They're on a bye week. What is wrong with your headphones, man?
Just keep on going.
All right. Okay. Yes, Chris, you are the ultimate fanboy. You are the ultimate fanboy. All right, so let's go on. We already did Seattle, Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh. Philly hosts Dallas. It's a good game. So good. I don't understand why the point spread is like 5.5.
6.5.
Oh, it moved up?
6.5.
Wow. 6.5. I have no idea why it moved up. Cooper Rush is a game manager. That's simple. That's good. That's what the Cowboys need. Run the ball with Pop. Excuse me, I got so much saliva in my mouth. Run the ball with Pollard and Elliott. What? What are you shaking your head for?
You'll find out when it's my turn.
Okay. Run the ball with Pollard and Elliott. CeeDee Lamb had 5 catches for 73 yards, something like that last week. Michael Gallup had a few. Cooper Rush. Good enough. And that defense, they're pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Eagles. I'm not backing off, but the Eagles are the best team in NFC. Will they win this game? Yes, I think they're going to win this game. I'm picking them to win, but I don't think they're going to cover the spread. I think it's going to be a field goal game, honestly. A field goal type of win for Philly. Last week, they escaped from Arizona. They should have smashed Arizona. They should have smashed them. But we'll see what Dallas does. JT.
If people have been watching Philly's games, this is how it goes. And this is how it goes. Philly puts up a ton of points in the first half and struggles in the second half to even get in points. So if Philly doesn't put up a ton of points in the first half, this game can be close. Can be close because now just this, I just have to point this out. I gotta point this out.
Go ahead.
Cooper Rush, Mr. FSP said is a game manager, and that's good. But Geno Smith is a system.
Oh God.
And in my opinion, Geno Smith is heads above, way above Cooper Rush in playing this year. So I don't know, or is it a bias against Geno Smith? I'm just saying.
What does Geno Smith have
Wait
to
a minute. Because the fact is, you said Cooper Rush is a game manager. That's a good thing. And you said Geno Smith is a system quarterback, and that was a negative thing against Geno Smith. So, come on, man. You can't have it. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah,
I
can.
Have it both ways. I'm saying, wait a minute. This is my turn.
No.
Now it's no.
Yes,
Okay.
No.
No problem.
You
know what? You know what?
Said that.
You know what?
I'm going to rebuttal it.
I'm on mute.
Because
I'm on mute.
Okay, be on mute. Cool. But you're going to interject something that we're not even talking about into the game. That has nothing to do with this. But since you brought it up, Geno Smith is for 8 years. 8 years.
I'm talking about this
You're on mute, right? You're on mute, right?
You're going to bring it up like that? You're going to bring it up like that? You're going to go back years? I'm talking about now.
Geno Smith.
I'm talking about now.
In the NFL for 8 years.
Oh, see,
and has proven.
This is what Mr. FSP.
See, he said he's on mute, but now he's going to talk. He said he's on mute, now he's going to talk. So Geno Smith is the person who we thought he was. I sound like Denny Green right now. But Geno Smith is doing what Pete Carroll has him good at, which is great. Cooper Rush has been in the NFL for 4 years as a backup. He wasn't highly drafted. He wasn't given a starting position with the Jets or any other team, but he's learned the same system under Mike McCarthy. Now, the difference is he's doing 200-something yards a game and not expected to win. Geno Smith was expected to win and was expected to be the savior. Now he's okay. He's still not that good. Look at JT. Look at the way he JT is just being JT. Oh, Lord. Chris, for real? You going to be Team JT on this? That's how you be Team JT on this. Because we're not even supposed to be talking about the Jets. Yeah. We're moving on to the next subject.
I don't care who you're talking about. You talk about
the Cowboys, I think are going to lose to Philly. So let's get to Green Bay at Jerry's favorite team, his favorite team of all time. I don't care. Well, they come to Green Bay, I should say. It's his favorite team.
Get it straight. The
Jets travel to Green Bay. Now, Green Bay, you got a lot to make up for after losing to the Giants the way you did in London. I don't know if it was because y'all thought y'all had it wrapped up or whatever, but the Giants shut y'all down. Flip side, the Jets. The reason why I say the Jets are better than Washington is because the Jets are starting to gel. They're starting to gel. Now, I don't understand this. Why Zach Wilson is not finding what's dude Wilson's first name? Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, while Zach was out, was the catalyst in that receiving core. But I get it. Zach likes Davis better, Corey Davis better, whatever. Flip side of that, the run game for the Jets has caught fire. Breece Hall and Carter. Now, Conklin is a guy that Jerry picked up and dropped I guess he had him for a week or two. I don't know. But I don't think Conklin is that big of a threat. I'm surprised CJ Uzomah isn't getting more play, especially as they begin, throwing the ball more. In this game, I'm not going to pick them to win. Let me first off say that. I'm picking Green Bay. But I would not be surprised if the Jerry Jinx has finally ended and the Jets upset Green Bay. I wouldn't be surprised. JT?
Aaron's hurt. Jets coming in. Packers are pissed off, especially Aaron. I like.
Hold on. You said Aaron's hurt. There's two Aarons. Which Aaron are you talking about so people know?
Aaron Rodgers' thumb. He's got an issue with his thumb. But he's pissed off. I think they laid a wood on the Jets. I like the Green Bay Packers.
So when you say he has an issue with his thumb, is it a sprain? What is it reported as?
Hold on a minute.
Okay, all right. Well, why he goes there? I don't know what the point spread is on that game, but I wouldn't play it. Jerry says he thinks they're gonna, blow him out. I don't think so, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's go with more music, and let's go down the line. This is a double fanboy moment. Double fanboy.
Whatever.
Cleveland hosts New England. So, Chris, you were Team JT before. Let's see if you're Team JT now. New England under Bailey Zappi seems more explosive in my opinion. It seems to me that Zappi is like that zap of juice that they need to perform better. On the flip side, we know what Cleveland is. Run the ball. Throw it as little as possible. Try to maximize what you can get when you throw the ball. Don't let Jacoby Brissett cause you the game. Cade York missed a field goal last week that caused Cleveland to lose that game. But at the same time, Brissett didn't do much either. I think Amari Cooper had like 4 for 43 and a touchdown. Not a bad stat line, especially seeing as though there aren't that many balls coming out of Cleveland. It's Chubb, Hunt. Right now it's Chubb. I don't know, and I'm speculating, I don't know if Cleveland can come back if Zappi and company jump out to a lead. I think Belichick is happy with Zappi. Get it? Happy with Zappi. And if they go up, it also depends on if Myers plays, in my opinion. Because Nelson Aguilar, I believe, is already out. But if Myers plays, who happens to be Zappi's favorite target, or any quarterback's favorite target up there, he's just not, or wasn't, a touchdown threat, more of a PPR person. I'm not sure if New England doesn't win. I'm not sure. But it's in Cleveland, and only because it's in Cleveland, I'm picking the Browns. JT.
How can you be sure you're getting the right deal? I have to talk to
This one's like your last one.
Cleveland Browns are 2.5-point favorites. That's too close for comfort for me. Young quarterback. They're trying to fix the defense in Cleveland to prevent what happened over the last 3 or 4 weeks and teams coming back and some teams getting a win. I got to believe that a young quarterback going against a good defense, a young quarterback going against a good defense, the good defense is going to prevail. They do just enough on offense in the running and the passing game to win. I like Cleveland in this game.
Okay. All right. To another game, we talked about this earlier as far as personnel. And at the top of the show, because JT didn't know that Jonathan Taylor was ruled out, Nehemiah Hines is ruled out, but Deion Jackson is in. And Indianapolis hosts the Jacksonville Jaguars. The trendy defense to get right now is probably on your waiver wire. Probably shouldn't be. I don't believe I'm saying that. But the Jacksonville Jaguars. Their defense has been allowing their offense to succeed. Past couple games, though, Trevor Lawrence has not been the number one overall pick that everybody thought it was. He's been sunshine Trevor, the one that just throws the ball up. As a result, Christian Kirk's numbers have declined. Everybody else on that offense has declined, except for Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne is getting more and more of the work from Robinson. I don't understand why. Playing either or at this point, in my opinion, is rough. I don't know if you play Etienne or if you play Robinson, because you never know who's going to be the dude. Now, they had equal splits in touches last week, with Etienne getting the better of it as far as points fantasy-wise. But, man, after that butt whooping Indianapolis took down in Jacksonville, I got to think they're out for revenge. And I got to pick Indianapolis in this game. Point spread, JT, and your thoughts.
Okay.
Now, why are you acting so dramatic?
Some people just do not listen. James Robinson had an injury, an Achilles.
Oh, my God.
And last week, I said, still, I'm not on the James Robinson because of the fact he's had an Achilles. Cam Akers is getting phased out of the running game in LA because he's coming back from an Achilles. Understand what I'm saying. When you have an injury to a running back that involves an Achilles, it's not a good thing. I don't care. James Robinson, the first four weeks, not even last week, first 4 weeks, they were using him and he was balling. I got to admit that. But I kept on saying, I'm not on the James Robinson game. I'm not on the train. And he didn't get the most of the work last week. He's not really doing that much. Really. That's why he didn't get that much run. Now, what happens this week? I don't know. I'm not Nostradamus. I don't know. But it looks like they're trending toward a more effective back in Travis Etienne, along with anybody other than Cam Akers. Okay?
Cam Akers ain't on Jacksonville.
I'm just giving a comparison.
I know, but
look. Don't interrupt. I didn't interrupt you.
Hey, calm down. I was correcting you. I was correcting you because you were wrong.
Well, no, I wasn't wrong. In your opinion, I was wrong. But if you weren't listening, you would understand. You weren't listening. You just wanted to interject.
Just keep going.
Anyway, I like the Indianapolis Colts to win. It's a point spread is a 1.5. Done.
Okay.
Over with.
All right. So just to clarify things for folks, Cam Akers actually is the starting running back in LA, and he held Henderson to 4 receptions, not even a rush last week. So it's not as if he is he's burning things up. I think the Rams, we'll get to the Rams now since brought up the Rams. I think McVay is trying to just force feed him the ball to get him back in the groove, because he saw how other running backs, J.K. Dobbins, Robinson, people like that.
Wait. That's not the Rams. That's not the Rams. What are you talking about that for? That's not the Rams.
Again, Cam, this is why I have to control this gentleman, because he likes to try to take over my show. He likes to, but I can't let him take over my show. As I said, since I'm talking about the Rams, if he was paying attention and didn't turn his back, I said, let's talk about the Rams since you brought him up. Cam Akers is the guy that is getting force-fed the ball. And with that, Dobbins, Robinson, the production they've had, I think that's probably why McVay wants to give Akers the ball. Because he's saying, okay, well, I see what they're doing. You can do it too. But Jared and I talked about this early on in the season when we noticed that Cam Akers really wasn't doing much. We were talking about how they were trying to ease him back into it. That didn't work. At least in my opinion, it didn't work. But this week, they got the Panthers. They've got the Panthers on the docket. And let me see when their bye week. And after that, they have their bye week. So I think two things are going on with Cam Akers. One, they're either trying to set him up as trade value, or two, the expectation is, all right, you should be good enough to give us what you got. And that's why he had pretty much every touch from the running back position, because Henderson didn't run the rock at all last week and only had 4 passing targets. Flip side, Carolina. Oh my gosh, Carolina. You fire your coach. Baker's in a boot. PJ Tucker is
Walker.
Okay. PJ Walker is your quarterback. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I said I had a couple locks. This is the third lock. Doom, 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 doom. The Rams are going to smash the crap out of this team. Couple of facts here. DJ Moore gets more targets when Walker's quarterback, because Walker's not afraid to throw the ball, and he has the arm strength. I'm not saying Baker doesn't, but for whatever reason, he's not focused on that receiver. But Walker, he's going to throw it there regardless. The thing I don't like about Walker, I saw it in the preseason, and it caused me to lose some money. He took a daggone safety after what was the rookie quarterback they drafted? Oh my gosh, from Ole Miss, and I'm looking at the Ole Miss game right now. No, Sam Howell plays for Washington.
Matt Corral.
There you go. Matt Corral was, they were pinned up. The game was almost over, literally almost over. And Carolina had covered because it was supposed to be over under. Corral gets his ankle broke or whatever. They put PJ Walker back in there for one play. One play. This Joker, not only, I would have been okay if he would have gave up the safety because it still would have had 1 point. He fumbles the ball, and the team gets a touchdown and causes money. Here's the deal. I have no faith, none in PJ Walker. But on the flip side of this, Stephen Wilkes, he got a raw deal in Arizona. I don't think he has much talent in Carolina, to the fact that Carolina is trying to actively trade CMC. That's wild. You're going to give the guy the interim job, and then in the same week, there are reports that teams are calling about CMC, and you're entertaining them. The cornerstone of your team. There's no way, in my opinion, Carolina wins this game. Cam Akers, Henderson, I don't care who's running the ball for the Rams in this game. Cooper Kupp's going to feast. Allen Robinson might even feast. But Carolina's going to lose this game. JT's point spread and your thoughts.
Okay. He had his say. I have my say. The Los Angeles Rams are going to win this game. The point spread is 9.5. I see that as an easy coverable, even though they're playing in Carolina. Even though Matthew Stafford hasn't been playing Matthew Stafford like of last year, I think they do enough and cover and win the game.
All right. New Orleans, Cincinnati. This is not going to be a good game. I'm just telling you. The Bayou boys go back to the Bayou. The problem, and I'm talking about the LSU guys, Burrow, Chase, rest of those guys. New Orleans is, I think Jerry said it before with Brian Daboll, using smoke and mirrors. That's what New Orleans is doing. Taysom Hill had 4 rushing touchdowns. They're going more to the Wildcat right now. Why? Because the receivers are hurt. All their receivers are, literally all of them. Even Chris Olave, but he's playing. The rest of them, Alvin Kamara came back last week versus Seattle. Didn't do much, but he was effective. But the guy was Taysom Hill, 4 rushing touchdowns. And I think he's going to get more. I think he's going to score this week. I don't think he's going to get 4 touchdowns this week. But Cincinnati doesn't have a real offensive threat on the other side of the ball in New Orleans. Joe Mixon. If they don't find a way to let Joe Mixon run the ball, this is week 6 in the NFL. Joe Mixon is in the bottom tier of rushing yards in the NFL. With that new offensive line, Jamar Chase really ain't a first-round draft pick in fantasy. He's at least not yet. And the fact that T. Higgins might not play this game, that means, well, trending because he didn't play last week. He's not going to play this week. He has a health issue. Tyler Boyd and Thomas. I'm not telling nobody to pick up Thomas off the waiver wire, nothing like that. But he's the other receiver that's decent. But Tyler Boyd and Hurst, Hayden Hurst, are the money makers for Cincinnati in the air game. JT shaking his head. He's got something he's going to say. I'm going to let him say it in a minute. But I've got to give it to Cincinnati. I don't – and the fact that New Orleans back secondary is banged up a little bit, I got to go Cincy. All right, JT.
All right. This is supposed to be a high-powered offense. It was a high-powered offense last year. But if you listened to me earlier before the season started, I said this quarterback and this offense is going to regress. And that's exactly what's happening right now. They're going to regress. Yes, they have.
You said the quarterback, right?
Quarterback and the offense.
Think he regressed. Oh, the offense. I don't think Burrow did.
Yes, he has. Trust me. Mixon. I just did a calculation. Mixon only averages 60 rushing yards a game.
Yeah.
And he only has one. And he only has one touchdown. Only has one touchdown.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Now they go to New Orleans. You think New Orleans is not going to be inspired and try to play this game? You think that they're not indicative of what happened last week when they played Geno Smith? You think that they know who they're coming up against, the other participant, the loser in the Super Bowl? They're going to be up for this game. If they're going to be up, the defense is definitely going to be up for this game. And since it's only 2.5 point favorite, 2.5 point favorite.
I know.
That's indicative of what I'm talking about. The odds makers don't have much confidence in the Cincy offense. I don't either. I'm looking for an upset. I like the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, not the Cincinnati.
That's not an upset.
I know. I like the New Orleans Saints to win this game.
All right.
And quite naturally cover the spread.
All right, so here's what I got for you. We ain't did this in a while.
And we're not doing it now.
Oh, no. You mean we ain't doing it now?
We're not doing it now.
I'm just saying, you know.
Let's move on to the next game.
Oh, you don't want to.
No, let's
not
move on
even
to
Jackson. Not even a Jackson.
Nope. We'll move on to the next game.
I'm just making sure. All right. Let's go to Minnesota, Miami. The M&M. Here's a problem, ladies and gentlemen. Tyreek's a little nicked up, but Tyreek's going to play. Waddle's nicked up. He's going to play. But you know who's not playing? Tua or Teddy. How is Teddy the backup, but not cleared or good enough to be the starter? Because if something goes wrong with this rookie quarterback and he's out the game, Teddy's going to have to come play anyway. I look, Raheem Mostert, Edmonds, all those guys. I mean, it's a bunch of guys, and for whatever reason, they're not making too much hay, and it's been all about the passing game and the defense. Miami, they're facing a team that has something to prove. Kirk Cousins has looked good the past couple weeks. Kirk Cousins has not been the star, but you know who has? JJ, Double J, not Jeff Jarrett, but Justin Jefferson. That's JUSTIN.
Come on, man. Keep going.
I'm doing a bit. Let me do my bit. You don't follow wrestling. I do. Anyway. Irv Smith, a bust. Irv Smith is a bust. I know one of us on here said he would never be anything or isn't going to be anything this year, and one of us touted his praises. Where are you at, Irv? They need you this game. Giesick will probably see some traction on the other side, but Irv, you have been featured twice and have been a bust twice. But the one guy that is in and out of the lineup year to year, hasn't missed a game yet, is Cook. Last week he was on a mission to prove he was going to run that rock. And he did. The missing man is Adam Thielen. Look, Thielen is really the possession receiver on this team, but I love Miami's secondary. Let me say that. The only person I think is going to do well in the passing game for Minnesota is JJ. I don't know why, but I don't think Kurt's going to have a super game, but he's going to have a better game than Russ. So I'm starting Kurt over Russ. But Miami, sorry, think you're going to lose it. What you got, JT?
Miami is Minnesota is favored by 3. I'd like Minnesota to win this game.
Okay. Let's go to Kansas City and Buffalo. I believe that's the last game. Yeah, that's our last game. Okay. I turned lemonade on just for this because it's going to be juicy. Some people are saying Buffalo's not going to let this game get down to a field goal. They're going to put their foot on the gas and don't stop. Flip side, I think this is the first time outside of the Raiders that Kansas City is going to see a defense that can control them. Now, I get it. Travis Kelce did great. 4 touchdowns on 30 yards receiving last week was the reason why they won. But I really think Buffalo is going – I want this to be a close game. I really do. I really do. I think it's going to be the highest scoring game of the week. Buffalo is going to be Diggs, Josh Allen, Singletary. I like Dawson Knox in this game too, but not as much that I'm a like hype him up as a tight end to play, but I like him in his game because Valdez Scantling, up and down, don't know. Juju, up and down, don't know. Hardman, we know he's not going to be consistent. Watson's out. Or Christian, they bring him in to play a little wildcat or running back from time to time. Or do fly sweeps and reverses and whatnot. All that trickery stuff, keep it basic. If they keep it basic, KC can't win. At least not this game. It is in it's in Buffalo. It's in Buffalo. I don't know, man. I don't know. Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Pacheco. Pacheco's probably not going to see the field that much because I don't think they're going to be in a position to just run the rock, even though I think he's their best running back. I got to go with Buffalo. And I think the over-under is like what? 50-something, 54, something like that. If it's in the 50s, I'm taking the over. JT.
Okay, just to correct you, the game is in Kansas City.
It's in Kansas City?
Game's in Kansas.
Yeah, okay. I was looking at it wrong.
I like Kansas City to win this game.
Is that all you got?
That's all I got.
But you got them horse races on. You love them horses. Oh, my goodness. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I love it when a plan comes together. This show is coming to an end. I want to thank all of our folks for commenting with the questions. Hopefully you got some good answers. And let us know. Always come back. Let us know what you think. Let us know what happened. I enjoy doing the Q&A stuff. I really do. As you can tell, Jerry and I don't always agree on everything. If you ever seen the show, you know that anyway. But enjoy the banter back and forth with you, the listeners. If you ever want to support us, scrolling down there, like to make a donation. We ain't got one yet. But if you would like to, information's at the bottom. If you like what you see and you like what's going on, go to the YouTube page, Victor Gardner, and hit like and subscribe. Let's build that up. If you're on my LinkedIn page and you're seeing us for the first time or the second time, we try to keep it professional, but sometimes some people, I might eat something from once in a while, but I try my best not to act up. So sponsor us. We're here. And my late cousin would say, controversy makes the show better. And I disagree with him so much and so hard. JT, on the other hand, he loved it. He went along with it and he agreed with it. But we thank you.
Seconds.
We thank you for coming on the show and sharing it with us. JT, you already promo what's happening tomorrow on the master plan.
On YouTube, people, JT, Jerry Taylor presents the master plan. I'm talking about every matchup and the players in that matchup. And I got two deep sleepers. I'm telling you, I got a feeling about these sleepers. And usually I get a feeling, it's a good feeling. I got a very good feeling about these two. Tune in tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right. You heard the man on YouTube. Hopefully he'll have different platforms to put it on so you can see him in multiple places. Don't know. It's his thing. But thank y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Appreciate you.
Fantasy, sports, and politics. You want to talk back? You in the right place. So take a step back before I get all up in your face. I know you got to live, you know I got mine. But there's like 50 other dudes holding on the phone line. Your voice will be heard, sir. Next caller, please. And if I don't concur, we can agree to disagree. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics.